everyone, it's Chantal from Clay Play, and I'm here to show you a quick tutorial how we're going to make our little Christmas father or garden gnome. It's that time of the year, everyone is busy decorating their houses and trees, and this is a cute little project, one of the few in our kits that you can make. So if you have purchased one of our kits, Clay or Clay Play, clay packs, you can go through the projects. You can make all of them. There's enough clay for all of them. If you want to only make one or two, you can make it bigger, so it's up to you. That's the nice thing about clay and being creative. You can decide what you want to do. Okay, so let's get started. So first up, you're going to get a piece of clay. I'm just going to break off a little piece that I'm going to put to the side for my decoration part. And we're first going to start by rolling your clay into a thickish coil. Don't go too thin. It's almost like a little, see, you can see like a cylinder. Okay, just starting off like that, just to get my base of my little Father Christmas. Okay, so now we want to create this tapered cone-like shape. You'll see the bottom is flat, it goes thinner to the top. So you're going to take the coil, put it on the side, and only use this part of my fingers, of my hand, on the one side of my coil. I'm not going to put it in the middle, you're going to put it off center like this. And you're slowly just going to roll on the one side. You'll see now in a few moments how my coil starts to go thinner on the one side. I'll show you here. You can see it's getting that nice shape. You can use your hand just to softly press it a bit. Very important to throw it like that a bit, just to create that nice flat surface so your little gnome or Christmas father doesn't topple over. Okay, I still feel I want a bit more pointier hat, so again I'm just gonna softly use my fingers to create a nice little cone shape. Okay, you can decide if you want a funny little hat with a point or just straight up. Just remember, don't go too thin, it can break off. So I'm just gonna make mine a little bit wider. You can add a tassel to the top. I'll show you now, there's a few options of what you can do. Okay, so here we go. So I think I've got my nice shape like that. I'm gonna work on my hat a bit later. Okay, I'm gonna take another piece of clay, and we're gonna roll a thin coil to create the little hooded part of the hat of the gnome. So I'm just gonna take my hand and go forwards, backwards. There we go. To create a coil. You can measure it to see that's a bit too low. If I'm not gonna have enough space, I want it a bit higher, somewhere like that. I'm just gonna roll it a little bit longer. Now, if you've done some of our projects before, you will know the magic trick of, we always say, to attach clay is using the scratch and attach method. So using your stick, you're going to decide which part of your project you want to the front. I'm going to use this part. So I'm just softly going to just flatten out that part where the face is going to be a little bit, just a little bit, just to create room to work on. You'll see there, I've created a little bit of a flat space. Now I'm going to take my stick and draw almost like a half moon, like a rainbow shape where I want my hat to be. Here we go. Now on your quill, again you're going to make little scratchy marks. Remember, scratch and attach, otherwise the pieces will fall off. Every time you want to attach something to clay, two pieces of clay, you're going to use this technique. I'm going to make a few scratchy marks in between on the line, like that. Okay, now it's time to put it together. I'm going to show you now. I'm just going to wrap it around like that. Now you can't leave it like that, it's gonna break off. So now what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your finger and only work it in on the side that attaches to the hat, not the face side, because you want that little bit of a lip area for your hood, like a little piece that stands out. Okay, I'm just gonna softly take my pinky finger and I'm just gonna work. I'll show you. I'm just gonna work it in. You can see the difference already. The better you work stuff in, the less likely it is to break off. Okay, so I'm just gonna go all around and work it in. See? Okay, now it's starting to look more like a hat. You can shape it a bit more, but I'm quite happy with that. Okay, now we're going to do the nose. So again, you're going to grab a piece of clay. You can decide how big you want it to be. I quite like to make a nice big round nose. It's a bit more quirky, but you can decide to maybe make a smaller nose, like a cute button nose, but that's also up to you. Just gonna roll it in a little ball. You can always put it next to your face to see size. Oh, that looks about right. Nice and big. Again, remember, scratch and attach. So we're gonna use our stick to just make little scratchy lines where I want to attach it, and on my little nose as well. There we go, Santa. Let's put on your nose. Okay, again, it's not really tight, so you're gonna, at the bottom of your little nose, just work it in a little bit, just somewhere so it's a bit more attached. We're going to put a beard in, so it's fine if you have it attaching at the bottom like that. Okay, so there's our little nose. Now comes the fun part, to create this nice bearded effect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take pieces of clay. First off, we're going to create lots and lots of scratchy marks in the beard area. The more the better. Just be careful not to go too hard that you poke holes into your sculpture like that. Now I'm gonna take pieces of clay and you literally just gonna push it in. You can make little lines, I'm just creating some texture. I'm going to show you now. Some of you will say no, but you haven't scratched on the other side, and that is correct. I'm happy if you noticed that. There's a reason for that. Okay, so now that looks kind of bushy. You're going to take your finger and just the bottom pieces you're going to rub into the base like that. And now you're going to take your stick and you're just going to softly press it in. This will attach it to that scratchy marks. You can use your stick also to make little lines. Doing this, you attach it to the clay. And there we go. Now you can decide, okay, I want to maybe point my hat a bit. You can make a point. Or you can decide, I want to put on a tassel. You can make another ball. Let's do that. I'm gonna scratch at the top and scratch there. And remember again to use your fingers to smoothen it in. You can always shape it again if you afterwards. Okay, so I'm just gonna shape it a bit. So when you paint it, you've got like a little tassel. There we go. Remember not too thin, otherwise it might break off. Okay, and that is the way we make our little garden gnome Christmas tree father or Santa Claus. Once painted, you can put it in your garden. Remember, if you want to use it outside, just remember to varnish it for special varnish. But yeah, you can change the colors to make it a garden gnome if you want to.